here and you're watching Simulink tutorial. Today we are going to discuss about assignment block. Now if you have seen my previous videos, you might know that I already have a video on assignment block. Then why am I making this video again? Well, I saw a comment where it was mentioned that the person did not understand the usage of assignment block clearly. So that's why I'm making this video with better example, with better clarity. So I hope it provides a better understanding this time. So without further ado, let's start with today's video.
So I have these four subsystems to show you different examples of assignment block with different settings. So let's have a look at them one by one. Before we dive into this, just keep in mind that this block is used to assign values to multidimensional signal based on chosen index value. So the first one is index on dialog. So I'll go to this subsystem. So this is assignment block. To add this block in your model, just type assignment in empty white space, and that's how you get the assignment block in your model. Here you get the index mode as 0 based or 1 based. So if you want the index to start from 0, you can choose 0. If you want the index to be starting from 1, then it should be 1 based. And with this index option, if you change these options, the appearance of the block changes with these settings. Well, we will see the usage of the block with different settings. So the first one we will be looking at is with the index on dialog. So I'll just delete this block and let's see the design. So if I click on this, you can see here that the index option I have chosen is index vector to be on dialog. So the index value that I want to choose, I should write here. So I have just given one value. If you want to assign all the elements of the output signal, then you can just give the index vector the way I have now given. So I'll just delete this one and keep only one index. Then this output size, it will be inherited from y0, which is the input. So since this y0 has 3 elements in it, the output will also have 3 elements in it. And since I have chosen the index value equal to 1, only the first element of the output signal will be assigned with the input, whereas rest of the elements, that is second and the third element, will have default value, which is y0. I'll just click OK. So to just summarize this point, y0 is the default value, then u is the input signal and y is your output, and the index value we have given on the dialog box. Similarly, for this second assignment block, all the settings are same except the index value is 2, and same for 3, the index value is 3 and rest of the settings are same. So in case of first assignment block, first signal will be assigned to first element of the output. In case of second assignment block, signal 2 will be assigned to the second element of the output, and in case of the third assignment block, signal 3 will be assigned to the third element of the output. Now we will see what are signal 1, 2 and 3. So I'll just open the signal builder block. So signal 1 is varying from 0 to 100, signal 2 is varying from 100 to 200 and signal 3 is varying from 200 to 300. So I'll just simulate this model. And we will observe the output of the first assignment block, where we are expecting that first element of the output will be varying from 0 to 100 and second and third element will have value 6 and 7 respectively, as we chose only one index value through this block. So I'll open the scope, and now if you look at the output, it's quite complicated to understand which one is element 1, which one is 2 and 3. I'll just take signal builder block as well so that it's easier to understand the one-to-one mapping, and to understand which signal is element 1 or 2 or 3, I'll just take this cursor measurement. So click on it, and you can see here there are two cursors to observe the value at given time. So the first cursor is at time 2.5, whereas the second one is at 7.5. And the assignment 1, that is element 1 of the output, has value 25 and 75 at those time values. Now if I select assignment 2, you can see here the value is 6 for both the time instances. For assignment 3, the output is 7 for both the time instances. So from this plot, I hope it's clear to you that from whatever settings we chose for assignment block, we have signal assigned to the output for chosen index value. I'll just close this one, and now we will come to this remaining part of the design, where I have used a selector block. To get it, you can just type selector in empty white space in your model and choose selector, and you will get this block. Now you might wonder that why this block and this block look different, because you have to make few settings on this block to make it look like this. So I'll explain this block in my future videos. For now, just remember that what this block does. It passes the value at given index. So if you imagine an array and you want to access value at ith index, then this I will be this input and the array will be this u input. So I just hope you got this scenario. So from this signal, which has 3 elements in it, we will be passing the first element to the output. Similarly, for the second selector block, the second element of this signal will be passed to the output, and for third selector block, the third element of this signal will be passed to the output. So based on our input signals, signal 1 should appear on the first plot, signal 2 should appear on the second plot, and signal 3 should appear on the third plot. So since the model is already simulated, let's see if it really happened. So you can see here the first signal is varying from 0 to 100 as expected, second one from 100 to 200, third one from 200 to 300. So we got the expected response. So to conclude, the second assignment block assigned input signal to second element of the output, and the third assignment block assigned input to the third element of the output. So I hope it's clear to you what happens when you choose index on a dialog box setting for assignment block. It assigns input signal to output element at chosen index value. So just for exercise, try giving index vector over here and see what happens. And in my next video, I'll explain the second subsystem, that is index as an input. And if you like today's video, hit like, share and subscribe. See you in my next video. Till then, keep watching and keep learning.